Welcome back. This morning, we're excited to bring you the first installment of a new segment here on 5 News, dedicated to digging deeper, sharing stories that matter, and looking at our area through a different lens. We call it 5 News Originals. It's about more than just the headlines. It's about the people, the places, and the moments that shape our communities. And as we kick off this segment during Women's History Month, we're spotlighting women who are making a lasting impact in our communities. So for our first story, we take you to Chester, Arkansas, a small town tucked into the Ozarks with a rich history. It's a place Lacy Hendrix has always called home, and now she's working to restore and preserve its legacy.
It's a unique place of raw natural beauty, but then also these values of community. It's one of these magical moments that seems like, time and technology has sped so fast, but right here, it still exists.
The quiet charm and rich history of Chester, Arkansas always felt like home to Lacy Hendrix.
I was born and raised. I always tell people just a few miles up the track north, and tucked away in this beautiful little valley in the Boston Mountain region of the Ozarks.
Even after years on the East Coast, her hometown never felt far away. In 2019, Lacy and her family decided to return.
We looked towards Arkansas to be close to family and thought we'd look for a normal home. And my husband was like, Lacy, that old railroad inn that you've always loved in Chester is for sale.
Built in 1887, the Beard and Lady Inn, once known as the Chester Inn, has survived massive fires and floods. The building holds memories for many in town, including Lacy.
This became a bit of like childhood memory of staying with my mom and my grandmother and my brother through the years, and just the quietness of this area, the quirkiness of the rooms upstairs.
When the Hendrix family bought it, the inn needed serious repairs.
There was a lot of need. I mean, the roof was leaking everywhere. There was like holes in the floor in the kitchen. We had water leaks. When I was doing construction here, you get into like monotonous tasks, right? So tiling something, or you're like peeling wallpaper. And I was thinking a lot about how, I was born and raised here and I could have stayed here. I wanted people who never leave, like there's a lot of people who never leave the county or never leave the area, to be able to walk in here and time travel, experience a different culture.
Through teamwork and creativity, that dream came to life. As just one of 4 businesses in Chester, the inn gradually became both a unique, historic stay for travelers and a vibrant hub for art and culture in the community.
We want to continue to create and live in this space that's absolutely beautiful and educate ourselves on what our natural resources are.
And as the inn grew, Lacy began to see ways to support Chester beyond its walls, starting with an unexpected discovery. The town did not have a sales tax.
It was surprising to me that while I have a business here, that revenue was not specifically going into the community of Chester. How can the tourism dollars that are coming, from people go into the city of Chester to better the community? It's under, I believe, $40,000 a year that we operate as a city, and so there's many needs.
She spearheaded a 1% sales tax initiative, which passed in November 2024.
I don't think that we'll see any significant income coming the first year, but as that kind of compounds and as we can build some of those funds, I do think it'll have a significant part of Chester and its growth.
Her goal, to continue revitalizing the area while preserving its heritage.
I would love to see the swinging bridge eventually as something that is part of Chester's heritage and history. We used to have a swinging bridge festival that people would come from the train, they would drop them off, and you would be able to cross the bridge across the creek. I think for tourism it would be amazing. I think for Chester pride and community and heritage, it would be an awesome thing to see.
And as the work continues, Lacy says she couldn't have done any of this on her own.
I keep having people walk through my door and they're like, I am here for you. I see what you're doing. I'm not gonna let you quit.
People like Eden Ellis, who runs the apothecary attached to the inn.
I've always loved this building forever. I had a great-great-grandmother that worked here in the 1800s. We did Easter here every every year, and I would pick out a dress and wait all year to take my picture at the inn. And so when Lacy got it and she came and found me at the Chester Farmers Market, she said I would be perfect in the apothecary. Lacy's vision was to kind of have a place where the community could come and just have fellowship together.
And that vision has become a reality, one she continues to build on every day.
This place no longer feels like it's mine. It feels like something that I put a lot of work into and was always intending to really open the doors for community. And so I forget that this is something that I did and that was one of my visions and dreams, and then it's like, oh, it's here. It still feels very much like we did this together.
Well, we are excited to continue bringing you stories like this here on 5 News. And stay tuned for the rest of Women's History Month, because we will spotlight a few more unique stories of women who've made an impact in their communities. Morgan Wrigley, 5 News.